Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be number 1 tutorial on actions. So we're going to bring up our actions panel by going to Window and Actions. Brings up our panel which has our default actions that come with Photoshop, which are pretty much useless patterns or actions. You might be able to find some things in there, but like molten lead, yeah, you're going to use that a lot on an image. That's pretty handy. And then the other actions here is a folder of actions that I've created called iWorks. So what an action is just a recording of certain commands that you have done to an image that you can play back again, either on the same image or on another image numerous times. So they can be quite simple or they can be very involved. So a quite simple one would be to duplicate the layer. So if you want this layer, another copy of this exact layer, you just play this action. So you highlight it, you hit the play button. So it duplicated the layer. If we want another one, then we just hit it again. And that's, in the most simple terms, that's what an action does. Okay, so we're going to create some new actions. So I'm going to collapse this folder here, and I'm going to drag these two down to the trash can icon so we start fresh. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it iWorks 2020. Hit OK. That's our folder. Now I'm going to hit the new icon here for create new action. So I'm going to record an action, just duplicate layer. So then I hit the record button, and then all I do is duplicate this layer. I can right click on it and hit duplicate layer. You can rename this if you want. Hit OK. Stop the action. And we've created our first action. So when we could play it back, we just highlight it, hit play, and it's going to create a new layer every time that we hit the play button. So I'm going to delete all those. Now, this is a very important tip. You have to save these actions, because if you close Photoshop and if you have not saved these, you will lose the actions that you just recorded. So you can't save an individual action, you have to save the folder itself. See, if I go over here and try to hit save actions, it won't let me because I've got an individual action highlighted. So what I have to do is highlight the folder and then hit save actions. I'm going to save this to my resources folder under actions. iWorks 2020. Hit save. Now that action set is saved, and anytime that I get a new version of Photoshop or I lose this or whatever, or I have to reinstall the actions, these actions are saved. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a little bit more complex action, and one that we'll play back on another image so you can see how that works. So we're going to hit our create new action. We're going to call it adjustment. Let's call it curves adjustment. And we're going to hit record. So we're going to make a new adjustment layer which actually doesn't mess with the background layer because it creates a layer on top of it. So we're going to go to curves, and then we're just going to make it just a little bit darker. That's quite a bit darker, but that's alright. And we'll bring the midtones down as well just a little bit. There we go. Somewhere around in there. It doesn't matter where it's at. And then I'll go ahead and hit stop. So now we've made a new adjustment layer and we've set the curves here. So if we delete this and we play this back, it does exactly what we just did through all those dialog boxes. So let's go ahead and bring up a second image here. And let's play this back over this image. So curves adjustment, hit play, and it applied that same curve that we did on the other image that we made to this image. So once again, to save these, if you like that, then you go ahead and you have to click on the folder icon again, menu, save actions. I'm just going to have it overwrite the actions that I did before. Now, here's a really good tip. Say you don't want to apply this same curve to every image, but you do want to apply a curve without having to bring up the dialog box every time. So, how we do that is when we make this adjustment layer, we want it to bring up a dialog box. So we're going to hit this little box right here. I'm going to get rid of this adjustment layer. So now when we play this back, it brings up the dialog box so we can make our own curves layer for this. Now it's not recording this because we don't have the record button on, so this is just playing back what we did before, but it's allowing us to make changes to this curve. So we might go something around in that area where the darks are really dark here, and we'll go with a bigger tonal range. So like that. So that's how you create an action and play it back on another image. And also by checking this box here, it allows you to make adjustments to whatever adjustment layer that you placed onto the image.